Welcome back, everyone. It is Eric from Rare Candy, and today we're going to be trying out a crazy rogue deck idea I've been messing around with lately, and that is going to be Wormadam.
You serious?
Yes, I am aware this card hasn't exactly been incredible up until this point, but I do think all of these different Wormadam cards, in conjunction with the way that we're building this deck, actually can exploit a number of different weaknesses that decks in this current format have. So of course, Wormadam is going to be the primary attacker. It is 30 plus 10 for each Pokemon in our discard pile. So we can hit things like Miraidon, Iron Hands, Arceus, V-Star, all for weakness. But we also have, of course, a Metal Wormadam to hit things like Chien-Pao and Iron Valiant for weakness. And we also have a Grass one to hit Charizard and the new Roaring Moon EX for weakness as well. But, it doesn't stop there. We also have a couple copies of Luxray for Lightning Weak Pokemon, as well as a copy of Gallade also for Psychic Weak Pokemon. But the other, I think, key card that really makes this deck very annoying for a lot of decks to deal with right now is going to be the 4 copies of Klefki with that Mischievous Lock ability, which shuts off abilities on basic Pokemon. So many decks right now are reliant on things, whether it's Comfey, Radiant Greninja, Squawk ability to get going, and this is just going to bring those decks down to a screeching halt. But the other card that really makes this Klefki extra annoying is going to be the Ditto from 151, which effectively gives us 8 outs to starting with Klefki. And Ditto in particular is actually cool because it discards itself to get Klefki into the active spot, which has some really natural synergy with our Wormadams anyways. So I think that's going to be sort of the core idea that we have here today. And before we get any deeper into this list, just a heads up, guys, if you do need any code cards to complete this deck for yourself, you can check out friends of the channel over at PTCGLstore.com. Use coupon code RARECANDY at checkout for a discount, and Rare Candy's patrons not only have early access to this deck list, but also have their own exclusive discount code for even bigger savings. Links to those will be down below in the description. But hopping back into our list for just a minute here, guys, of course, Kirlia is going to be the main engine of the deck to not only draw cards, but to pitch away our Pokemon with that refinement ability to help do more damage with our Wormadams. And while we're never going to attack with Jirachi, this is also another sort of counter card in the deck because of that Stellar Veil ability. It'll prevent those damage counterplacing effects from cards like Sableye or even like Metacham V to our benched Pokemon, which is really important because we have a lot of low HP fragile Pokemon in this deck. In terms of our trainer cards, this list is actually really streamlined. As you can see, there's not a whole lot to go over, but it will highlight we are playing 2 copies of Serena instead of Boss's Orders, because without it, we would only have 6 draw supporters in the deck, which really won't be enough to work with. So with Serena, we at least have the option of a gusting effect, even if it is a little bit limited to just Vs, or a discard and draw up until 5 effect, which of course is still good for our deck because we want to discard our Pokemon. But to make up for that, we also have 2 copies of Counter Catcher, where if we are behind on prizes, which frequently we will be, it's going to take us a few turns to start getting a bunch of Pokemon in the discard pile, we can just immediately switch one of our opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. And I will actually point out Switch. The reason I'm actually choosing to play Switch in this deck is because we're playing the Luxrays, because without Switch, there's really not a great way to put it into play and attack with it in the same turn. But also Switch will allow you to also more easily get Klefki into the active spot too. But if you do cut Luxray for whatever reason, you can maybe get away with cutting Switch as well. Just something to think about. And for our energy cards, we have 4 copies of Double Turbo and 3 copies of Reversals. So we are leaning more heavily on Double Turbo just because Reversal is limited to only being most effective when you are behind on prize cards. But to be honest, I think you maybe even could invert these counts. To be honest, you could catch me on any day of the week and I'd probably give you a different answer. I've tried both ways, but Double Turbo just gives us the most assured way of attacking with Wormadam, which is our main attacker. But that's going to be the list we're trying out today. Just be sure to smack that like button to feed that YouTube algorithm. And let's hop in some games and see how this crazy Wormadam deck is going to do. Okay, our opponent's going to have us go first. Okay, kind of happy we mulligan there because we didn't have Klefki. So if they're making us go first, that means they're playing something that's stupid and aggressive that we can exploit. Okay, yeah, and we do have the Ditto, so our opponent probably should have chosen to go first, but I'm not going to turn it down. Our opponent's going to regret this one. So they're probably not thinking too much about this. They're just staring down a Ditto thinking, what in the world is that going to turn into? And probably not a card you want to see, unfortunately, my dude. But, okay, we do have our Grass Wormadam. That's huge. We have both rods. That's good. And we did prize a reversal and a double turbo. That feels kind of bad, though. But that'll be fine for the moment. Get down this, and just pass over to our opponent. So they will need a boss or escape rope or double cross switchers if they do want to get around this guy. So hopefully making life a little bit difficult for our opponent here on turn 1. Okay, there's Pokestop. Actually a card I don't hate for our deck. The only thing we might be worried about is maybe getting rid of energy. But we want to discard Pokemon. That's for sure. So we don't really mind losing any. And there's going to be Squawkabilly. Does our opponent have the gusting effect? I just played a game against someone else who benched Squawk. I don't know if it's going to make it into the game or into the video, but they benched Squawk with Clucky active and conceded. Are we going to see it happen again? Okay, no, apparently not. So they can at least play the game here. But we're probably safe for a turn. Yeah. So we'll do this, and I think we'll just Iono here. Don't want to lose 3 draw supporters. I don't really care about the Pokemon as much. But, alright, so we can Refinement here. Actually, this could even be a decent turn to Pokestop since we have a bunch of energy in hand. It's so unlikely that we mill even more. So I think this actually is a good turn to use this. Because we know we have energy prize, so it's super unlikely we mill something that we care about here. Okay, I mean, getting rid of Pokemon's not bad. It gets us closer to a supporter for next turn, too. A part of me actually wants to get down another Klefki just to keep walling them for a few turns. I'll say sure. Get this down. And just end turn. I will say, I'm not a big fan of this hand. If we hit Research, I feel like we can't even play it just because of how much energy we have. That's the current issue that we're facing. Okay, Pokestop. Are going to get rid of another Pokestop. That's fine. Question is if our opponent is going to get rid of the Pokestop with their Calamity Storm attack. Because they probably want to keep it in play. Okay, that's cool. So I'm happy with that. That at least gives us the option of using it if we need to. I think we have to get rid of Wormadam here. That feels kind of bad. I really don't want to Pokestop and potentially hit our Grass Wormadam, but maybe we should. I'll say screw it, guys. Let's go for it. This feels wrong, but we're going to. Okay, we got rid of the fighting one. That's, I guess, best case scenario, right? I think we probably need to use Reversal Energy to make sure we get this KO next turn, but I think we're just going to... yeah, we'll just pass for the moment. I don't want to get down Reversal Energy and they boss this guy up. Because we might need the extra damage from Reversal to be able to actually get the KO here on Roaring Moon. Okay, getting rid of Professor Sada. A+, love to see it. And what's good here, too, is our opponent doesn't have a lot of items in discard, so even Darkrai V-Star can't really get them back much of anything good just yet. But they might be grabbing something out of deck. Okay, Radiant Greninja. So maybe just getting ready for next turn once Klefki is finally gone. If we could get a counter catcher, I would love to knock out Squawkabilly with Gallade. That would actually be pretty busted. I don't know if we can get there though, but that would definitely be nice. Okay, so we have 10 plus 30 damage from Wormadam, 13. Yeah, so we will be able to get the KO here. I don't want to get rid of like anything in this hand. Maybe we'll Refinement just to give ourselves more options here. Okay, that's actually really good. That's actually maybe a perfect like 2 cards to see. So yeah, we'll get down Wormadam. And now I'm feeling pretty good. We have Level Ball, so we can get down a another Ralts. Oh wait, I thought we had 10 Pokemon in discard. I thought it said 10 a minute ago. Okay. Either way, that's still a knockout, right? Yeah, we're still good, guys. So let's go ahead and get Reversal Energy down. And yet again, just going to save this hand because we have Rod plus Ultra Ball ready to go for next turn. So I think our path to victory here is looking pretty good. So yeah, we'll definitely knock out that guy. Prizes are fine here. But yeah, Roaring Moon actually has felt like a pretty good matchup in my experience with this deck. I mean, the Klefki just grinds their deck down to a halt, and then obviously Wormadam just keeps blowing away these things, so it feels really tough for them to come back. Okay, they do have Pow Pad, which is good. They just got rid of the last of their supporters, it feels like. Okay, so they got back, what, 2 Sada, I would imagine? Yeah. And it passed us. Ooh, that feels bad, my guy, because now we can actually knock out Darkrai this turn. Yeah, we just do this because we're tied on prizes, so I think we have to do this now. Yeah, it kind of feels hard to lose at this point, not gonna lie to you. So we'll switch Darkrai into the active spot. We will Refinement, probably get rid of Serena at this point. I don't think we're gonna need it. We'd probably just prefer Research now. Okay, so let's go ahead and Ultra Ball, Ditto, and Ultra Ball. And I think we'll just grab another Kroya, just ready for next turn. Could even get rid of a double Turbo. That doesn't feel bad to me at this point either. I don't think we're going to need much more energy to win this one. Okay, Counter Catcher. I think we're just going to chuck those with Ultra Ball next turn after we get our Wormadam back. So yeah, let's just go for the Matron's Anger. And now if you're the Roaring Moon player, like, what do you do? Just Iono and pray at this point? It's the only thing I can really think of. Because Morpeko can't even get a knockout. Like, they're pretty much forced to use Roaring Moon if they want to. Take another 4 prize cards. That feels rough. So one of the only things I could think of that would be bad is like Temple plus Iono or Roxanne or something like that. That would feel kind of bad. Or if they had a way to force the 7 prize game with Morpeko, that would be big. Like if they could knock out Burmy or something, but... Okay, getting rid of Rope. I'm cool with that. Or maybe there are other options to try to stall us. Oh, but they're going to get another Darkrai. Maybe we should have kept Serena just in case of that. But we can knock out whatever they promote anyway, so I guess I'm not too stressed about it. Okay, we'll see Curly. Interesting Pokemon to try to get rid of here. Maybe they're going to try Dekus. Or just force the 7 prize game. I mean, you're welcome to take your time, my dude. So get Artisan down. Do we have another switching card? Okay, we do. So I don't mind burning this switch if we have to. It's actually a Refinement here. Get rid of these. Okay, Level Ball. Actually, we'll grab Ditto. That's probably a little bit more useless at this point. Level Ball, we'll grab this guy, and I just want to grab Gallade preemptively in case they do Iono us. Or we could just leave it in deck in case they do Iono us, because we could curly it into it if we need to. Actually doesn't seem that bad to me. Yeah, I'll see sure to that. So we will switch. Ooh, actually, this could have been a good turn to attack with a different Wormadam. To save this guy. But honestly, I don't think it matters at this point, guys. I think we're in a really good spot to close this one out. I will save this energy though, just to be on the safe side. In case they do keep trying to go for these like boss stall strategies. Like if there's something big they can throw up that we can't knock out. Yeah, I think we'll just do this for the moment. Okay, level ball. That's actually not too bad in case our opponent does Iono us. That could allow us to more easily draw into our third Corellia again. So our opponent needs to go Iono. Temple of Sinnoh. Okay, there's Iono to 1, but we have 2 Corellias. We have a Gallade that we left in deck to maybe Ion. Okay, that's an easy card to pitch away here, I suppose. But like, even if we don't respond with the KO this turn, I think we can still just 2-shot this guy. Ooh, collapsed. Okay. So yeah, we just chuck away Ralts. I think that's fine. I mean, that actually kind of helps us, if anything, I guess. Because there is a world where, well, maybe we should have... no, I think this is probably correct. I was going to say, there's a world where we could just chuck away enough Pokemon to just knock out Roaring Moon anyways. With like a different Wormadam, potentially. Broken top deck. That is kind of disgusting. That's wild. Now, unfortunately, we don't have Rod. I don't know if we have any other basics in deck here either, but let me thin a little bit here if we can. Sure, we'll just go for another Ralts here. Yeah, both Rods are in deck, but issue is we need Rod plus an Ultra Ball. So Refinement, we'll get rid of Luxray, completely dead card at this point. That's not good. Refinement, chuck away Manaphy. Oh geez. Unfortunately, we're doing 0 damage. That's the bad news of where we're at with this turn. I guess we'll get this down just in case. And we're going to hang down for a whopping 0 damage here. So the Iono did work for a turn. I don't know if it's going to be enough for our opponent to win the game, but they can certainly try. They really just need something that's not weak to grass, but I don't know if they have anything. So we'll have to see what they're going to try to get back with Darkrai here. Probably just Dark Patches or something. Or Cross Switcher if they try to stall us to win. Oh, they have Palpad. Second one. So, yeah. They're going to try to go for a double Iono, it looks like, but they sort of need it this turn. Otherwise, they're probably going to lose. Because we can research, see our entire deck, shuffle Wormadams back in, then Refinement and get them back. So that's a wrap, guys. So Wormadam is going to take down Roaring Moon here. Our opponent definitely put up a good fight, all things considered, even with the Klefki start, even being hit for weakness like every turn. Sure, so we'll just do that. So, Super Odd. Get back the 1 Wormadam. That's all we need. And Refinement. Get rid of Klefki over here. And that is going to be it, guys. So, Matron's Anger, once again, for 420 damage against poor Roaring Moon EX here. Our opponent's going to make us go first. Okay. Yeah, I've got bad news for you, my friend. This must be another Roaring Moon player, if that's the case. I feel like those decks always make me go first when I play against them online. Oh, but it's going to be Iron Valiant. Super big mistake on your part. Like, they probably would have just beaten us, to be honest. Well, I'm assuming it's Iron Valiant at least, but... Now, the issue we have right here is that we need 2 Klefkis because of an escape rope. That's the issue that we're facing right now. So let's go for the transformative start. So So we can make it happen. We honestly probably have to, just to make sure we don't instantly lose here. So I'm going to level evolve. We're going to grab ourselves. Yeah, Ralts is fine. And then we can retreat into our other Ditto and use that to get a Klefki as well. So I actually have not played against Iron Valiant with this deck yet, so we'll have to see how this one's going to go. I think if we can survive sort of the early game, it doesn't seem that bad for us. We do have our Metal Wormadam. I don't know. Maybe just once we break the lock, it's just... they just pop off and still just beat us. Like, maybe we're just delaying how the matchup goes. I think on paper, like, Klefki shuts down their Iron Valiants, their Squawkabilly, all that stuff. And then we come in with the Metal one, take those KOs, but... I'm not sure if that's how it's going to go. We'll have to see. So there's going to be a Chorus. Okay, interesting. Okay, they have a Vacuum. That's not going to do you too much good against our deck. Okay, but they do have Entei, so they are going to be able to still put on some pressure. And unfortunately, we don't actually have a way to deal with Entei. Not very easily. So let's just go ahead and do this. We will chuck away Wormadam. Okay, that's pretty good. So I might even just preemptively attach here for whenever we use Gallade. Doesn't seem that bad to me. So let's go ahead, Serena. Discard Ditto. Okay, not a great hand, but we will do this. So if they do have a way to boss us, we can at least get it back with Super Rod. And we'll just pass from there. Question is, do we try to go for the Gallade play this turn? I think we want to make sure we have an evolved field of Pokemon before we break our lock. I think that's what we ideally want to shoot for. Okay, Artisan, that's pretty good. So let's just go ahead and... feels bad getting rid of a Super Rod here, but I think we probably have to. Oh, but we have to get down Klefki in case of another escape rope. Either way, let's just research. And we actually would have gotten there too. That's the sad part about it. So we'll Artisan here. Grab ourselves a Burmy. Just go for Ditto. Oh, actually, Luxray could be good to get down too. I guess I'll say sure to getting the DTE down over here. And from there, we're just going to pass over to our opponent here. So what we can even do, we could even use Gallade to attack, move the energy to Luxray. Doesn't seem bad to me, especially since it has a lot more HP than the rest of our board. Ooh, now if we get Counter Catcher out, I just realized we can actually... oh, we can actually just knock out Medicham with Gallade, because we can search out Serena, right? Because we should have another Serena in deck, in theory at least, right? So let's just go ahead and Refinement. I'm going to get rid of a Research. There's not much I want to get rid of here, but we're going to get to save a Reversal Energy, so it's probably okay just to get down this Luxray. Because I'm thinking about maybe getting rid of Double Turbo. Yep. I think that's what we're going to do here. Let me double check. We need to make sure our other Serena is... oh no! It's prized. Well, that is definitely tragic. So we have to hit Counter Catcher here. So we will get Luxray down. I'll say short of this. And we'll just Iono. So we need counter catcher here. Okay, cool. That's what's up. So let's go ahead and go for Krolia. We can start chucking away Ralt. I don't know if we're going to need too many more at this point. So counter catcher. I'll say Shore over here. And just Swirling Slice at this point, yeah. So taking out Medichamp's actually pretty big since we are breaking our lock here finally. And we are back in the game a little bit. It is kind of a bummer we had to use counter catcher on Medicham. I would have preferred to just use Serena and save our catchers for Iron Valiant, of course, but it is what it is. I guess just the KO there, that's fine. Okay, Super Odd's actually pretty good there too. Do I really want to lose Super Odd though when... Because I would like to get Glade back, but at the same time, we might need this to recycle Wormadam. That's the issue that we have here. So I think we'll get... Man, it feels bad getting out of Burmy, I'm not going to lie. Because our opponent has not really done much to start moving their Pokemon around. But we're going to Iono them, so it might be okay. Yeah, we just have to prevent them from doing their whole switching shenanigans with this deck. So Refinement. I don't think they have a way to snipe with damage. It's probably just with Medicham. So I think we can get rid of Manaphy here. So we'll Level Ball and we'll get, maybe just get Burmy. That's fine. And from there, just go for the Wild Charge, I guess. We just need 2 turns to win, but I don't know if we're going to have 2 turns only because they can start doing their damage spraying shenanigans. But at least having the Klefki down does mean that Escape Rope is kind of a useless card. That's the good part about this. It basically eliminates 4 cards in their deck from being played. Oh, but they have another Entei. Okay, so we definitely have to save this counter catcher for the end of the game. Trying to think what we do here. I think we just toss away Jirachi at this point. Okay, getting rid of the Magma Basin actually pretty good here too. Yeah, both of our Ionos are gone, unfortunately. This would be another great turn to actually disrupt their hand. Maybe it's cool to get down Ralts this turn. And yeah, we'll just go for the Matron's Anger. But there is a good chance that we just lose this turn. Because they just need an attack plus 3 switching cards. Because they can knock out Burmy and then use Entei. I guess maybe in hindsight we didn't need to get down this Burmy just because more than likely Iron Valiant's not playing boss. Like, so yeah, maybe this was a little bit of a misplay because that would have at least forced them to need an additional switching card. Okay. Rope, okay. I'm cool with that, my dude. You will hear no complaints from me in that regard. And a Research. Okay, getting rid of Switch and DTE, both big. Okay, 4 Sealstone. Okay, so yeah, they're going to have this. They'll definitely have this KO. It just remains to be seen if they'll have the double KO. That's the thing. Probably looking for Escape Rope here, I would assume. But if that's the case, I think we just give them Burmy. Yo, I think we're safe, guys. I think we managed to beat Iron Valiant. Because now we can just counter catcher, bring that guy up, and that's going to be the game. So we did it. We barely did it, but apparently the deck is actually beatable. Sure, counter catcher. Yeah, give me the alt art. We want to take that one out. And just research. That's fine. Yeah, we're doing like well over enough damage. Matron's Anger, 420 damage. Nuke this guy. Send it to the Shadow Realm for our final 2 prizes. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it today though for our wacky Wormadam deck that we have here. And I will say this deck definitely lives and breathes by its ability to counter whatever you're going up against. So if you're running into like Charizard decks and Roaring Moon decks and Miraidon decks, yeah, you're going to be looking at tons of free wins. But for the decks that you don't have like an easy answer to, the deck definitely struggles a little bit there. So that is my word of caution for this deck. But if nothing else, it's definitely a lot of fun to at least troll people on live and ruin their day a little bit with this thing. But hope you guys did enjoy today's content. As always, if you did, feel free to smack that like button for me. Or if you're feeling a little bit extra generous, you can always become a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or pick up some merch over at rarecandytcg.com. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.